What you doing out in these streets, Leroux? We in these streets! I was born with a speech impediment. Although that's what I believe for most of my life, because for as long as I can remember, I've always had speech impediment, always had a stutter, a problem to speak, to express myself through speaking. Up until recently, a few months ago, I had a guest on the podcast who struggled with anxiety so much that at times they could not speak. They would be completely frozen. They could not get any words out. And it made me think, is the speech impediment that I believe to have been born with a result of an anxiety? Am I that nervous to speak to someone that I could not speak freely, that I always worry if I could get the next word out? And it made me think, it made me analyze my life, because I know that for a fact that when I was a child, there was a period when the stutter just completely went away without anything I did to practice. I did not see a speech therapist at all. And I analyzed these moments of my life, and it came back after for some reason, and maybe something happened to me after that, like an incident that made me once again have anxiety when speaking to someone. Then it came back. But this conversation with this podcast guest made me think. Then it made me also pay more attention, because when I edit my podcast, it's a cringing experience because I don't like the way I speak. But it made me face and realize that the way I was speaking was not normal in a sense. What I did to mask the speech impediment so that I could get my message across was use my mind as a thesaurus. I would expand my vocabulary, and whenever I came across a word that I might have a problem saying, I would replace that word with a easier word, so to say, just so that I could complete my sentence without anybody laughing at me. And the problem with having a speech impediment is that the people who know that you have one, when they speak to you, they look at you in a way that they are waiting for you to fuck up. And that puts more pressure on you to actually express yourself, and that leads to more anxiety, and that leads to having an actually bigger problem speaking, causing a bigger stutter. But that's part of the problem, or part of the package, so to say. And one thing that made me also realize when editing the podcast and looking at my conversations with various guests, I would not speak normally. There would be this pause. Like I would not be able to say a complete sentence. There'd be this pause midway, just so that I can make sure to get through that sentence without fucking it up. And it made me think about various conversations that I had in real life, even before the podcast, and it made me think, do I really speak that way, and why am I speaking that way? And it made me analyze and think, is it lack of confidence? Is the anxiety and the confidence linked? Do I have a lack of confidence in speaking because I have a fear of expressing myself? And that's what's making me lead to speak that way, and I could not speak in paragraphs, so to say. And I always remember whenever I spoke, I would always worry about the next word. That's why there would always be this sort of pause, delay. Like I could never speak fast because of the fact that I would so to say, have a fear of stumbling and stuttering, and then I'd be like a fucking idiot, and it would take away everything what I just said, and my point couldn't come across successfully because of the one fuck up. So I started to realize, what if I just said fuck it? What if I just believed in myself and spoke with confidence? Not just with confidence, but with conviction. What if I spoke with more conviction? And the confidence would come through. And once the confidence was there, I would not have the fear of fucking up the next word. And that's what I started doing. Started practicing this. Started practicing speaking in full sentences without any pauses, and it would just flow. Now, I'm not saying everyone's stutter, everyone's speech impediment is related to anxiety or, excuse me, or lack of confidence or whatever the case may be, or social anxiety or just being socially awkward. But that's what happened to me in my case. And that's why people have started to notice more so in real life, and sometimes I'll get DMs online with regards to, you don't sound the same, you don't speak the same, you're speaking with more conviction, you're speaking with more confidence, like what happened? Like, and it's the same me, it's just that I've learned to speak with more confidence, I've learned to believe in what I'm saying, because for a long time I'd always preferred to speak via text, because I knew that via text I could express myself successfully without ever feeling like an idiot. Because when I spoke, I'd always have this fear of, oh shit, I might just fuck up here, or I might just say this and the point might not get across. So I'd always have the confidence in my writing. Like, I'm a writer first before a rapper. Writer, rapper. I wrote to express myself because I could not express myself successfully via speech. And now speech, people take it for granted because that's what everyone does. I'm not talking about people who have a disability and they can't speak, you know, but talking about people who every day just speak and take it for granted. There's a lot of people like me who grew up with the anxiety or the awkwardness of not being, of always worrying about getting the next word across. But that is the reason why I speak or sound differently, in case you happen to give a fuck, in case you were wondering, in case you were asking what's going on with me. Am I taking something? You know what I mean? It's just a matter of fact of overcoming this obstacle that I had for since as long as I can remember, and just believing in what I was going to say, believing that I was not going to stumble over my words, that I was not going to stutter and embarrass myself. And for a long time, even when I was performing on stage, I would have this major fear of, what if I'm mid-song rapping and I start stuttering? Which is wild, just wild. All of those things I had to deal with. But now I finally feel like I've overcome that and I can express myself. I won't say exactly the same way that I would write. My writing has always been my strong point, but it's slowly catching up. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for this podcast. And this podcast has helped me analyze the way I was speaking and instilling confidence in me, in my ability to just do something normal as speaking. I'm grateful for that podcast guest, and I'm grateful that I had to go through that cringing experience of analyzing my speech. So yes, that is why I sound different, that is why I speak with confidence or conviction, and that is how I overcame my speech impediment or stutter. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you have any other more questions, please comment below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please comment below and give me your feedback. And if you know anyone else who's struggling with the speech impediment or as a stutter, guys, it is one of the most crappiest things. So please share it with them, and hopefully, just hopefully, maybe they're dealing with the same thing as I am or I was, and maybe this would help them. So hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. That's The Real Leroux on Instagram. Instagram is also In These Streets with Leroux. Facebook is In These Streets with Leroux. And Twitter is Leroux. Also, I'm on TikTok. It's This Is Leroux. So guys, I hope this helps. Hope this answers your question. So yeah, until next time, we're in these streets. What you doing out in these streets, Leroux? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroux? We in these streets.